tallest and most distinctive lighthouse, has stood as a landmark and guardian over Tybee Island and the Savannah River for over 220 years. Hello, I'm Janet B. Today we're going to learn about Tybee Island Light Station, from its history as Georgia's oldest lighthouse to its current renovation, and even a glimpse into what life might have been like for the head lightkeeper and his family.
Well, we moved here permanently when Daddy became a permanent lighthouse keeper. He was assistant before, and that was in 1930. I was 5 years old, but it was a wonderful place to live, good place to live. We played the beach. We went down crabbing every day practically. We went crabbing. We didn't play in the lighthouse, no, we wouldn't do that, but we went up about every day. We didn't stay long. 178 stairs. You know, we had a guest book. I wish we had it today, in that same one. And every time we'd go up, we'd write in it, and we'd write a movie star's name. So Daddy would think would know it was us. Of course, he always knew it was us.
Well, we're really blessed because the Jackson family, with the resignation, the retirement of George Jackson in 1947, continued to live not only on Tybee, but in the Savannah community. As we moved through our restoration effort, the Jacksons came to realize that many of the original furnishings that once were used in this house would be important to the interpretation of the house. So they very generously donated back many of the original furnishings to the house.
Yeah, first we had a wood stove, a big wood stove, and then later on they got real modern, and we had a kerosene stove, and then later after that it was electric stove. We started off with an ice box and had ice delivered every day, and then we had a refrigerator. There were 4 children in my family. My sister was the oldest, then my brother Henry, then my brother Ralph, and I was the youngest. And we all lived right here. Mom always cooked a big breakfast, and that was so good. And you smell that breakfast cooking, you were glad to come downstairs, to have your breakfast. And the Army shot the gun off every evening at 5 o'clock and, lower the flag. So when we heard that gun go off, we knew it was time to get home.
While life at the Tybee Light Station was good, it couldn't have been easy for a family of 6 living in this little cottage. And the Tybee Lighthouse itself, well, it got off to a somewhat rocky start.
There have been a total of 4 different lighthouses on Tybee Island. The earliest dated back to 1736, built right on the beach. It fell victim to storm surge and erosion. And unfortunately, the very next lighthouse, built in 1741, was built approximately at the exact same location. So it too fell victim to storm surge and erosion. It was only until they constructed the 3rd Tybee light, well out of harm's way, that a sense of permanence existed for the continuation of the Tybee light. So this light was built in 1773. The light existed not as a lighthouse, but as a day mark, a landmark, from 1773 until 1790.
The Tybee Lighthouse has had several different day marks throughout the years. These patterns distinguish it from other lighthouses on the East Coast. The current day mark adorned the lighthouse from 1916 to 1965.
In 1790, they actually provided an illumination at the top of the brick tower, which stood 100 feet tall. And for the first time, the Tybee light could be really classified as a lighthouse as such. In 1857, they brought in a second-order Fresnel lens. The Fresnel lens system revolutionized aid to navigations around the world. It took a single light source, a single well-oiled lamp, but it magnified it within the prisms of that huge lens in such a way that that single light source could be seen for almost 20 miles out at sea. That lens was so brilliant by the outbreak of the war between the states in 1861, the Confederates who occupied this site decided it could be used as an aid to federal forces if they were ever to take control of Tybee Island. They snuck in, they removed the lens, and then under the cover of darkness, set fire to the wooden stairs and landings that at that time provided access to the landing room at the top of the 100-foot lighthouse. lower 60 feet of that brick lighthouse that dated back to 1773. They added 94 feet to it and made it 154 feet tall. And on top of that lighthouse, they put a first order Fresnel lens, which was even a larger version of the second order lens.
By this time, the Tybee Lighthouse was becoming quite modern. 154 feet tall with a first order Fresnel lens that could be seen from many miles out at sea. However, it took a lot of work to keep that light shining.
The new light station required 3 families rather than 1 to operate it as an aid to navigation. And the Tybee light was one of the last lighthouses in America to be electrified. And with its electrification in 1933, you really only needed 1 keeper to man the Tybee light. And that's where George Jackson came into a central role in maintaining this light.
The purpose of the project is to restore the entire site to the time period of 1916 to 1939. And it started with the lighthouse itself, which was restored to that time period. And so that the markings on the lighthouse reflect the markings within that time period with the black base and white and black. The building that we're in, the headkeeper's cottage, is a living history museum, so that when you come inside, it needs to look like that time period, just the way that the outside looks like that time period. The assistant keeper's cottage is actually going to be the office space for the Tybee Historical Society, so that had to be restored so that they could still use it as commercial office space on the inside.
The final building to be completed was a second assistant keeper's cottage. The exterior was restored to reflect the time period of 1916 to 1939, and the interior is used as an orientation center for visitors to the site.
So what we wanted to do was restore the building to a condition that best reflected the lifestyle and living conditions of keepers and their families on the Barrier Island in Georgia. A lot of detective work goes into the restoration of a building of this significance.
We used lots of photo documentation, the keeper's logs, historic photographs, and the historic drawings.
We had an abundance of photographs that helped identify the historic character and conditions of the building.
The next step for us in the process would be the forensic research that we would do at the site itself.
You have to be very meticulous, very systematic, very sensitive to everything you do. Because you could actually do more harm than good if you're impatient and remove historic fabric. Now, that fabric tells a story.
So there was a kind of peeling away of the layers until we got to the layer from our time period.
The Tybee Lighthouse has served well over the years, not just for Tybee Island and Savannah, but for the entire country as well.
The primary role of the Tybee Light, as every lighthouse, was to give adequate warning of the hazardous conditions and save as many lives as possible. We provided a significant role throughout American history, both in a maritime and a military sense. We've also been here as far back as the Revolutionary War, providing observation points for both British and U.S. forces during the Revolutionary War, as well as the War of 1812, the War between the states, the Spanish-American War, World War I and World War II. So our role both in a maritime and a military sense has been significant to the formation of this country.
With the advent of modern technology, such as computers and GPS systems, many of the lighthouses at other sites were no longer needed. As these lighthouses were closed, the keepers' houses and other support buildings were often torn down. The Tybee Light Station survived due to its status as an active Coast Guard station until 1986. In 1987, the Tybee Historical Society took over the management and preservation of the site and has undertaken the task of restoring the buildings as a living history museum. The Tybee Light Station is one of the most intact in America today and provides a rare opportunity for visitors to experience a lighthouse which remains as an active aid to navigation, and a chance to visit the many historic support buildings that were required to operate the lighthouse, and even a glimpse into what life might have been like for the head lightkeeper and his family.
This was just a wonderful place to live. It really was. You know, we take it all for granted, but it was